We are finally tackling a project that I wanted to tackle a long time ago, and that is finally rearranging an area where we can sit for this folding table or the dining table in the front of the bus. And I had an idea of what I wanted, so that's when I set out to go buy something that I thought I needed. And that thing is a chair from an SUV that has the seat belt built into it so that you can use this seat as another area to sit while someone's driving, because it has a seat belt. What I did is I went out to Harry's You Pull It Out in PA, and there's a couple locations, but I went to the closest one to me, and I decided that I needed to buy this chair, and I was going to get it that day. Wasn't sure what vehicle it was going to come from, but I did end up finding what I needed. Harry's You Pull It is a junkyard in kind of eastern Pennsylvania, and it's a junkyard where you can basically come out here, pick whatever you want, and the items are pretty cheap. They have a fair share of a whole bunch of vehicles. They have 4 locations. This location is actually a decent size, so we're gonna go around, look at some SUVs, some pickup trucks, and try and find some seats that have some seat belts attached to them for that one section inside of the bus. So I just walked over here, found this GMC Envoy, and although there's a lot of glass right here, the seat is in very good condition, and it has the seat belt attached to the seat. So we're gonna try and just remove some of this glass and then take the seat out. And now that we have that chair, we need to figure out how to mount it in this area. And what I'm doing right now is I just want to get the chair level so that I can kind of make markings on the ground over here, and that way I can start using this 4x4 right here to make a base that's going to go right here so that the chair sits on top of or over top of the heater. And in the front I'm also just using pieces of wood to make sure it's level, and then we're going to get it at the height that we want once we have it fit in place over there, so that when the table comes down, it doesn't hit the chair in the front. Alright, and I actually hate to say it, but after mocking this up, just the space that it takes up, and it's going to be raised up another like 4 inches, it's just honestly too bulky in this area. So it's pushed forward as much as it can be, that it's probably comfortable to sit here and use the table, but the issue is that we do have space back here, but in this position where it's comfortable to work at, this won't be able to fold down even if this chair is pushed all the way back. So if I push the chair back and push the chair back, that's as far as it goes back. This table still cannot come down without hitting it. But the issue with the chair being here and me pushing it back is that the slides will not be able to bring the chair forward enough to be able to comfortably use this table. So unfortunately, that means that we're probably going to switch to plan B, which is mounting a smaller but stationary bench in this area. So after some measuring and placing these blocks in different areas over here to see what a good height is and a good size for a chair, came to the realization that maybe I'm overthinking this whole area. So we have the table that's folded down, and we can fold it up and it won't hit this folding chair, which is just a simple folding chair. And the height and the placement of the folding chair is perfectly fine for someone that wants to sit down and use this desk at a good height and just a good space from the edge of the desk itself. Overall, I think I'm overthinking this whole area up here. With the chair that I bought at the junkyard, it made this area too cluttered over here, and I didn't like that when you're entering the bus, especially with having dogs coming in and out of the bus. Then, like I mentioned before, the second option was building a stationary kind of bench seating area over here, and I thought that was going to be too bulky as well. So I feel like a simple solution, like I mentioned, overthinking things inside of this bus, would just be to box in the heater itself and then put a folding chair taking the folding chair away when I don't need to use it. Because I don't always need to have a chair right in this location. When I first built the bus, the whole overall objective of this table up here was to seat 4 people. And I can accomplish 3 of those seats with just simple folding chairs, and taking them out and moving them back into the closet area in the back when I don't want to use them. So I think this is possibly one of those things that is just, you think about and you want to do something and you have this project in your head, but it doesn't pan out that way, just like a lot of things inside of this bus. So I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of things that you have an idea for and you think about and pay some money for, but overall, in the end, it's just not what you envisioned. That's what comes along with building a bus from scratch and coming up with ideas that, in the end, don't pan out. But you'll lose some money, but you do gain some experience of maybe things are just too complicated and they don't need to be that complicated. So that means that I'm on to the next project, thinking of what I want to do or accomplish in the best way possible. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video.